Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well, because I know I am. I was just gonna say just got back. I did not just get back. Went with some friends to Seattle last night and saw the Green Inferno. It's a microwave, I don't know if you can hear it. And that's a car. I don't know if you can hear that either. It's been a long couple of days. I've had one meal in 2 days. I'm hungry and I'm tired. Saw the Green Room last night in Seattle with some friends. Let's talk about it. So, first off, I don't know if this game. Now, I don't know if this movie's not getting like good publicity or good advertising or whatever, but there were total of I think 5 other people. One came late. There were 5 people in that theater, excluding me and my 2 pals. So that's a little depressing. Green Room, if you don't know, is a thriller where a punk band goes into a secluded, very hardcore scene gig, and you find out very quickly it's not a good gig to be playing at, as there's swastikas and SS marks all over the walls, KKK engraved and stuff, and then you start to see some skinheads. And at that point, you're kind of like, well, crap. We'll talk about the skinheads and all of that in a little while, but first, punk band. The music in this movie, it was so good. I was so satisfied. The way they had the band sound, just everything. It was just, they really captured the punk band, they did a much better job than I was expecting. The music in the movie was phenomenal. Like, the score was very good, but the actual punk music and the music that played at the gig where they're at was very good. It was aggressive, hardcore, punk, metal, kind of power violence music, and it was really good. I was into it, and but that's just my taste in music. But I thought they did a very good job. They jabbed at Washington, D.C. as well, which is where I believe kind of where the punk scene was originated, which is kind of cool that they actually have some facts and history in there, kind of just sprinkled in for the people that actually know their stuff about the music scene. And yeah, but the music was good, it was spot on, and the actual depiction of a band on tour, a small band, not like Kiss or Slayer or a big band, I'm talking like a small group. And it was very cool to watch how it worked. It's just people, some friends in a van, travel cross country, have campfires, eat crap on the van all the time, and do what they can for the little amount of money they can to share their music with people. And they absolutely nailed the vibe and the whole scene. It was fantastic. Staying at people's houses for favors. By favors, I don't mean anything weird. I mean, he wanted an interview with the band, stuff like that, just for like a little college website thing. Stuff like that. And it was they really showed you the inner life of a small, like, underground band on tour. And it was so satisfying to see that, because I support so many little underground bands and buy their merch. If you go to a show, please buy merch. They really, really appreciate that. It's gas money and it's food for them. But I'm going to try not get preachy on that. Jesus be with you. Holy water, sprinkle you with it. So beyond that, the look and the vibe in the movie was absolutely fantastic. It was this very Green Room. There wasn't much green other than the beautiful scenery of Oregon. It was a beautiful film. The location was fantastic. I've been to Oregon, and it is very green and not mountainy, but you see a mountain at one point, so I guess that's mountainy, but it's very pine trees, very lush green, dark greens, and gray sky, much like Seattle and Washington where I live. But yeah, they really captured that, and the fact that you're in like this backwoods, secluded area really like nailed it in. It came out really well, and I was very satisfied with that. And the gig itself, the location where the bands were playing, was so perfect. I mean, I've seen those like really scummy places, and this was really, really close. Close. I say close because it's not actual, but it was as close as you can get to the authentic hate-filled mosh pits that you'll find. So That was very cool. Now, as a band, you're going to have actors that portray the underground scene very well, that seem like they know the music very well. And I was beyond satisfied to see they didn't go for some cliche dude in a mohawk. I will correct it, don't worry. But they didn't go for some cliche dude in a mohawk, totally worn in battle vests and pins up the wazoo, patches, patchwork everywhere, and just ripped up jeans and everything. They had the band actually look like a band where they're wearing their everyday clothes and they're just wrinkled and stretched from sleeping in them. And it was just fantastic to see that they nailed that so well. Now, some of the people did have mohawks, battle vests, patches, buttons, pins, all of that. However, it was the people that go to the scene and really live it more than the band, because the bands don't have money to buy. The bands, it's funny, this is just a funny observation, if you look at music, the bands don't the real bands don't necessarily look like the scene, they look like themselves, because they don't have money to spend to look like the scene they're in, as they just personally like the music and they wear what they normally wear. Where people that go to the gigs, they dress like the scene because they're a part. That's a whole situation I won't even talk about. The wardrobe was phenomenal, and the acting was just so good. Patrick Stewart. He was so good. He was this very quiet, subdued, calm and collected character, and he was like that from the beginning of the film to the end of the film, and it was just, oh man, he never changed. Like, if you could describe someone, he was just this no blinking intensity. He was just like, and he was that no matter what the situation, and you're just like, crap, this dude means business and is probably going to not care about doing said business no matter what it may be. So the characters, this movie being a thriller, it really had to nail the fear and the situation, because they're just kids, early 20s, late teens, and they're just going to play music, and then they get stuck at a place with people twice, 3 times their age, who have knives and stuff, and they're violent and belligerent and irate. And having them in that situation where they're not in control and people they don't trust are in control is just, they nailed that, and my just anxiety just skyrocketed, and it was through the roof. Oh man, that was such an intense movie. Gee whiz. It was probably the most intense movie I've seen in a long time. It was just, whoa. This takes thriller to, they stepped up the game, because it's a lower budget, more indie-esque film, and it had the feel of an indie. I'm not sure if it is, so don't say it is, but it felt like an indie to me. I'm not sure why, but it just did. It was really intense. I mean, this felt like you know how your parents or your grandparents or some person older than you will say like, oh man, yeah, when I saw the original Evil Dead, that was the scariest movie I had ever seen in my life. That was so intense. And you're just like, what are you talking about? It looks so fake now. Like, this is going to be mine for future generations. If I talk to some younger person in the future, I'll be like, oh man, Green Room, that was the most just heart-pounding, intense movie I've seen in years. And they'll be like, old man, what are you talking about? It's just, this is going to be mine. Like, it's very cool to see certain benchmark films being set for people my age. It's just, and this feels like a benchmark thriller. So I was very excited about that. This is 10 minutes? I gotta wrap this up, I'm sorry. Anyways, as it being a thriller, it's a very straightforward thriller. It's thriller from beginning to end, and you know it is, and it is violent. It is gruesome, brutal violence. I mean, it takes a lot to surprise me in a movie. Like, I watched Green Inferno, and I was just kind of like, oh, that's gross, but I kind of want more. Like, you know? But this movie had me just like, there's this scene where a guy's like in like a headlock, and he's just like holding his head, and he starts pulling on it a little bit, and then something happens, and I was just like, done. Hold, boy, if you don't. It was so insane, the violence. It was so gruesome. No spoilers, But when someone gets hit with a bullet, oh my goodness, it's unnerving to watch. I was just like, hands, boy, if you don't, it was so scary. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. There's knives and machetes and blunt objects, but when a gun goes off, crap. When someone gets shot, there's just like spurting and it's physical. It's not, I mean, I'm sure there's effects in there, but it's so minimal that you can't really notice. And there's a lot of practical and actual blood spilling out. Oh, it was so good. Oh man, I needed a nap after that movie. That was so intense, and it was just this visceral, gruesome violence that I loved. So, but with that really gritty, hardcore feel, it really, to me, captured... I'm a huge fan of old 70s thrillers and like 70s gritty movies. This really took that 70s grit and really modernized it for my sort of generation, and I was just really excited to see that, because it captured that dirty, raw feel that 70s thrillers had and just brought it into the modern era, and I was so just, wow, very satisfied with that. Very satisfied with that. And yeah, funny thing that happened during the movie is there was some lady that came in late and she was just gasping on every single thing that happened. Just guy cocks a shotgun, just she's like, oh, or pumps a shotgun. Guy loads a magazine in his handgun, oh, and just a guy gets hacked with a machete, oh! And then whenever something like that wasn't happening, she was like arm deep in this goodie bag of treats, and it was just this, like, I know it's the AMC theater, and they're like, texting's cool! Won't get into that. Hope you guys enjoyed this mini review. That's what I've been watching lately. I've got a whole list of movies I've been watching, but this one just really stuck out to me and wanted to get my opinion out for everybody. So yeah, if you like thrillers or intense movies, if you have an anxiety issue, think twice. That's all I'm going to say. I had almost an anxiety attack watching this movie because it got my heart pounding, and it triggered something. Something in my brain was like, I am so wildly uncomfortable watching this. It was the whole situation. Check it out, definitely. Thriller, 70s grit, violent and visceral, brutal, and great music. Punk, hardcore, metal, power violence. Yeah, definitely check it out. I love the movie. I'll be buying it on Blu-ray when it comes out. I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm not going to give it a rating. I think we're going to review it. I'm going to review it on another channel with some friends that I co-own. So, I don't co-own the friends, I co-own the channel, but I'm going to give more of a ranking on that. If you want to see that, it's on Reviews from the West. You can find that on YouTube. We do movie and game reviews. But, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you have a great week. Stay positive. Good vibes. Bye. I'm awkward.